In our Sunrise Smart Start new this morning, a Rochester police investigating an overnight stabbing.
It happened around 1:20 in the morning. Officers say a 56-year-old man was stabbed in the upper body on Wilkins Street. He was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. An investigation is ongoing. Meanwhile, 30-year-old Andrea Lipton has been convicted by a Monroe County jury.
She was charged with manslaughter in the second degree in the murder of her son, 3-year-old Schumer Marshall. Both Lipton and her boyfriend, Anthony Love, were arrested in Marshall's death. In July of 2020, Rochester police officers were called to the scene where Marshall was found unresponsive. The toddler was taken to the hospital and later died. At the hospital, he was found to have severe injuries comparable to being hit by a car.
As mothers, your number one responsibility in this world is to keep your kids safe and to keep them healthy. That's what you were put on this earth to do. The facts here established and the jury agreed that not only did she not do that, but she affirmatively chose to not get her child the help that he so desperately needed, and here we are.
Lipton is due to be sentenced to May 19th. Love was previously sentenced to 25 years in the State Department of Corrections.
Officers have identified 43-year-old Sherelle Brown as a victim in a double shooting that took place on Friday on Phelps Avenue near Lake Avenue. Upon arriving to the scene, officers found Brown dead. The other man police located suffered from multiple gunshot wounds to the upper body. He was treated for serious but non-life-threatening injuries and is expected to survive. No suspects are in custody, but anyone with information is asked to call 911.
Rochester police making an arrest in connection with a stabbing yesterday on Dewey Avenue. 28-year-old Shadaria Flemings is in custody. Police say she stabbed a man in his 30s there. They say it was part of a domestic dispute. She is charged with assault. The victim remains in serious condition.
All these incidents stem from a very violent weekend in Rochester. Rochester police confirming a dozen people have been shot since Friday. The violence is creating a ripple effect of challenges for the police department, which is experiencing a staffing shortage of about 70 sworn officers.
And at times, then the number of officers that are available to respond to a scene tends to go down, and really, unfortunately, then hold times for some calls. If we're out here dealing with 2 or 3 major shootings in the city, that really taxes the resources in terms of responding to other 911 calls as well.
The city of Rochester has now seen 20 homicides so far this year. And the Irondequoit High School student hit by a car crossing Seneca Avenue on Sunday night has been identified. Irondequoit police say teenager Janelle Lise Wilson remains in stable condition but did suffer from serious injuries. The driver remained on scene to cooperate with that investigation. No charges have been filed at this time.
Some Monroe County legislators bringing a proposal to reduce the local sales tax on gas. That bill would roll back the tax rate to what it cost when gas was $2 a gallon. It has bipartisan support, but some legislators don't see the math adding up and making a real difference for people.
Right now, our sales tax countywide is running well above what we had projected for the year, in part because of these inflationary measures. We think that this could save taxpayers as much as $5 million per quarter.
The average driver will save a little more than $4 a month from this Monroe County proposal, and that's going to cost about $10 million. So for $10 million, we can do a lot more to help people who are truly struggling.
Well, the proposed bill would be in addition to the gas tax savings the state is passing along to consumers this summer.
Happening today, the Rochester pawn shop owner who pleaded guilty in a stolen goods resale scheme is set to be sentenced. According to prosecutors, Devin Tribunella paid drug addicts to steal merchandise he could later resell. Tribunella, who owned Royal Crown Pawn and Jewelry on Dewey Avenue, made over $3.2 million reselling the goods on eBay. He pleaded guilty to transportation of stolen goods in interstate commerce on January 19th.
Christine with us. Folks heading out the door at this hour, Christine, should not forget the heavier coat this morning.
Yeah, for sure. We're definitely talking about a chilly start as we sit in the 30s, but commute-wise, I don't see too many issues, especially if you're in areas around Rochester and west. We really just have some wet roads to deal with. Not a whole lot falling from the sky right now. Wayne County, though, especially Yates as well, could still be seeing a few lingering showers showers and flakes, maybe some slush on the roads south of here. But as it stands now, not really a whole lot to accumulate as temperatures continue to warm closer to 40 by the afternoon. So we'll see maybe a few more rain or snow showers of lower impact before we see an improving conditions for Wednesday. We'll have another quick check of that coming up in just a bit.
Thanks, Christine. A disabled vehicle causing some slowing in the left lane on 104 East at St. Paul Street by East Ridge Road, 390 in 490 in your view here, and 590. No accidents to report at this hour. The Transportation Security Administration is no longer enforcing the federal mask mandate for travelers.
This after a federal judge in Florida struck it down. Erica Cost joining us live with what you need to know this morning. Erica.
Good morning. Well, the Biden administration is disappointed. They're considering next steps for litigation and appealing that decision. In the meantime, there will be no consequences for people who choose not to wear masks on public transit. And with that said, individual airlines can still require them. At this point, most of the major ones have announced that masks are optional for passengers. The Biden administration says there's been some confusion following this ruling. So if you're headed out to a flight or a train ride in the near future and are unsure what to do, this is their recommendation.
Certainly no one here is trying to provoke uncertainty with passengers. We also think the mask mandate should be in place and that it's safer for individuals who are flying to continue to wear masks. So we would say to anyone sitting out there, we'd recommend you wear masks on the airplane. And then as soon as we can provide an update from here, hopefully soon, we'll provide that to all of you.
We'll see what happens in Supreme Court if administration appeals this. Previously, we've seen the Supreme Court strike down other COVID mandates, so it's possible the same could happen here. In Rochester, Erica Cost, News 8.
Erica, thank you. And the ruling comes just days after the CDC extended the mandate for 15 days.
In news from around the state Supreme Court judge who ruled New York's election maps were unconstitutional appointed an expert Monday to redraw the maps. The state has already appealed this ruling, which keeps the original maps in place until a higher court could make a decision. Judge Patrick McAllister pushing forward anyway, ordering the state to submit updated maps to Dr. Jonathan Service by April 22nd, with the new maps to be finalized by May 24th. The state would pay Service as much as $90,000 to complete the job.
Former Lieutenant Governor Brian Benjamin appearing in federal court yesterday in Manhattan. His defense attorney argued this case is not a typical political bribery investigation because it is based solely on political contribution issues and not personal benefits. Benjamin is accused of taking part in a scheme to obtain campaign contributions from a real estate developer. In exchange, Benjamin agreed to use his influence as a state senator to get a $50,000 grant of state funds for a nonprofit organization controlled by that developer. Benjamin, who resigned following his arrest, has pleaded not guilty. In Buffalo, Senator Chuck Schumer spoke in wake of efforts to save USS the Sullivans before it started sinking. The plan was to continue fixing it this week. Work had begun in August, but stopped 2 months later. Now crews are working to stabilize the sinking and remove leaking contaminants from the water.
We cannot let the Sullivan stories sink into the abyss.
Schumer proposed a plan to help crews. It includes calling on the EPA to assist cleanup efforts and a push for major increases to the National Maritime Heritage Grant Program.
Here's what some folks will be talking about at the water cooler this morning. The last time we saw Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, they were going toe-to-toe in that unbelievable playoff game. Coming up in June, they'll be partnered in the match. The golf match. The young phenoms will go up against the legends Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. It is set for June 1st at the Wynn Las Vegas. So rivals on the football field, partners on the golf course.
Yeah, it'll be fun to watch that, definitely.
For sure.
Christine, not really golfing weather out there.
Probably not today. Yeah, maybe
Probably
this weekend though. But as far as today goes, you know, there's a lot of good. We're actually pretty dry this morning as we see a drying trend. But I think a few more rain, snow showers can't be ruled out late morning into the afternoon. But not a whole lot of snow is going to stick from here. Looking at very minor accumulations, if any. If you're in Rochester, probably won't see anything stick as we see mild air build, especially into parts of our Wednesday. A quick glance though as this afternoon progresses. It's chilly, so you'll want the jacket as we rise from the 30s to around 40. And yes, a few maybe rain, snow showers, but we actually trend drier for Wednesday. It'll get breezy this afternoon as well, so definitely note that winds could gust 30 to 40 miles per hour at times. But other than that, not too bad.
All right, Christine, well, thank you very much. And thank you so much for watching News 8 at Sunrise this morning.
Our next update coming up in 30 minutes. CBS Mornings is up next from New York City. Have a great day.